Good morning, kids. It's Monday. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm still pushing through this cold. I think I'm getting better, so thank you for your prayers. I'm praying for you. Text prayer to that number on your screen. We are now at 2 locations, Song and Sword. You can catch us online here every day, every Sunday for a sermon, and you can go to the Chateau in Bloomington at 9 o'clock or 10:30, and we're glad to welcome you there as a congregation. Got off to a great start yesterday, so excited, so many things to say, but I really want to push into this. You know, we started this series, I Am Revealed, yesterday. It goes along with this book, and I want to push you in whatever life group you're in. I hope that you got 2 or 3 friends around you who are interested in growing in their faith. But in your life group, today you should go to page 20, and there's a bunch of questions that can guide you into talking about the sermon. If you didn't hear the sermon, then as soon as this video is over, stay on the YouTube channel that you're on, Song and Sword, at Song and Sword, and the sermon will pop up. And we'd love you to hear it. It's a great story. It's a great sermon about Elohim, the God who creates, and all He's creating in us. And so this week, what I'm going to do every day of this week, I will go through some more teaching from some of the scriptures that we talked about yesterday. We didn't get to go fully in. And one that I just mentioned yesterday in the sermon was from Romans 1. And it talks about how we should know God just simply by His creation. And we shouldn't be driven to idols. We should know there's something bigger. So I'm going to Romans chapter 1, verse 18. What happens when people just don't, they go, well, you know, a lot of people say, well, I don't have a chance to know God. They didn't have a chance to know God. What's up with God being mad at people who don't get to know Him? Well, here it is. Romans 1:18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God, listen to this, what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For His invisible attributes, namely His eternal power and His divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made, so that they were without excuse. For although they knew God, they did not honor Him as God or give thanks to Him, but they became futile in their thinking, their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools. They exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. Paul is writing this really, really strong language to the Roman church saying, listen, there's no excuse. God's made who He is very clear. Elohim, as we said yesterday, spoke into the world, spoke existence, spoke into us so that we could live. There's so much more for us to get on that. But on this Monday, here's what I want you to consider. God's powers, let me get this right. It's from the scripture. For what can be known about God is plain. His invisible attributes, His eternal power, His divine nature. You just look around. Take a walk on the trail today if you're in Bloomington Normal. Go out by the lake. Go catch some nature. Look up at the stars. Look at the sunrise. Watch some birds fly around. If these are all made, then they are made by a God who's greater than anything we know. And so it's foolish then, as the Roman author Paul mentions, it's foolish to take the image of created things. You know, all through history, false gods have been carved in certain images. There's an image of a bird or a falcon, or there's one of a lion, or there's an image of a bull. All these throughout history have been carved out of wood or out of stone or even out of precious metals like gold and silver and worshiped. And the Bible tells us, listen, we should look around us and know there's eternal, powerful God who made all this. In fact, more and more so in the scientific world, people are less inclined to believe the billions-year-old theory of evolution, more inclined to talk about, you know, a divine, intelligent design. I guess they wouldn't call it divine in the scientific world, but there is intelligent design. And we believe that intelligence, that intelligent being, is God Himself, Elohim. not to worship anything else in this world. Think about that on this Monday. Go outside, look around. Who made all this? And if somebody was big enough to make all this, including you, take a deep breath. Somebody created that. That is the being that we should give our hearts and our minds and our souls to. Hey, I encourage you to go through this book with us. I Am Revealed. We're going to learn so much about God and His names and who He is and His attributes. I encourage you to stick with us. Guys, we're so glad you're here with us at Song and Sword. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.